What happens if you drink a glass of unboiled tap water here in Taiwan? Continue watching and find out. After 4 years in interviewing countless of foreigners here on the channel, I think we can all agree on 3 things. Taiwan is clean, safe, and it's also surrounded by water. But is the water in Taiwan just as clean and safe as the rest of the island? Well, this might sound like a very simple question with a yes or no answer, but it actually depends on who, where, and how you ask the question. And this question is actually something that I asked myself, or well, I asked Google 13 years ago before the first time coming here to Taiwan. Because I don't know about you, but for me, every time I travel to a new country, there are 3 questions I always want an answer to. And the first one is, what kind of currency are they using in Taiwan in this example? What kind of power outlets are they using in Taiwan? And the third one is, can you actually drink the tap water in Taiwan? Now, this is where it starts to get a little complicated, because the first answer from Google is the tap water in Taiwan is not very safe to drink. And this is actually an official link from National Zhongxiao University's medical information page for new potential international students coming here to Taiwan. But if you instead would Google, can you drink the tap water in Taipei? The first answer is actually a link to the Taipei Water Department, which clearly states in the first sentence, and I quote, "The water supplied by Taipei Water Department is definitely safe for drinking." But even with this very confident statement from Taipei Water Department, I have during my 12 years here in Taiwan never seen anyone actually drinking tap water. And to all of you who will say, "Lucas, what are you talking about? Drinking tap water is totally fine. All you have to do is like first filter it and then boil it and then you can drink as much as you want." If your argument is that you can drink tap water as long as you boil it, it's basically like saying like, I can walk on water just like Jesus. All you have to do is to freeze it first. At least in my book, it just doesn't really count if you have to either boil or filter tap water before drinking it. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that although Taipei Water Department says that the water supplied by them is definitely safe to drink, no one actually seems to be drinking it. And during my 12 years and my personal non-scientific research at all, I think that the main reason for this is that people are a little bit scared since they live in older buildings that have older water pipes, and they're not entirely sure what actually happens to the water once it leaves Taipei Water Department and then comes into their own taps in their own apartments. So how could you actually find out if your specific tap in your specific apartment will provide you with clean, safe, drinkable tap water? Actually, the only thing you need to do is to go and visit Taipei Water Department's website, where they have the entire article about the quality of tap water in English for everyone to read. And this is my absolute favorite part. If you live in Taipei metropolis and are concerned about your tap water, please feel free to call us and we will answer your questions on the phone or make a field survey and examine the water quality for you. The service is free of charge. Or you could actually bring your own water here to Taipei Water Department. I should point out that this video is not sponsored by Taipei Water Department. They have no idea I'm even recording this video. And now when I am thinking about it, I actually may not be able to record inside. But regardless, let's go in and check it out. Well, as I should have known before actually starting recording this video, is that you do need to apply for a permit in order to actually record inside Taipei Water Department. But regardless, the whole process was actually super simple, and they also have all the instructions on their website as well. The only thing you need to do basically is just to fill up a plastic bottle with water, and then you head over to their office/water factory in Dan District, right next to the best area in entire Taipei, Liaozhangli. If you do not live here already, definitely consider moving here, because this area is amazing. Anyway, I did want to point out a few things before you actually bring your water over to Taipei Water Department, and that is of course that you need to like keep the water running for 3 minutes before you take the sample. You need to have a clear plastic bottle, but then they actually only test like your straight tap water straight from your tap by like supplied by them. So like filtered waters or like any other kind of like water that is not supposed to be for drinking, I guess, would not really be tested by them. And then all you have to do is just fill out a form, and then actually when they're done with the testing, which should happen the same day if you give it to samples before 12, and they did say that if you actually had some issues with the water, like if there's been some like renovation and something has broken, they might have to do some like more advanced testing. But this was a free test, and you basically just get like the real basic information telling you if it's drinkable or not, but maybe you will not get like the most analytical water levels and stuff. I haven't seen the report yet, so I don't know how they look like. So yeah, that's what we're waiting for right now, and hopefully it will actually come here later today. Otherwise, we don't have an ending for this video because I am gonna go to Taiwan tomorrow and record another video over there. So yeah, but while we are waiting, I do have some time to share some information regarding the sponsor of today's video, which, regardless of how this report from the Taipei Water Department looks like, I guarantee you will take your love for water to a completely new level. And I am, of course, talking about sparkling water from Celinda. Now, normally when I am this excited, something really big has just happened, but I think that this is the biggest thing that has ever happened to me, because the SD300 sparkling water machine we recently installed in our apartment is just a tiny little innocent water tap right next to our sink. But please do not let the size fool you, because this tap follows the Scandinavian approach of minimalistic design, which we all love so much, and all the magic is actually happening underneath the sink with both a cooling pump and a tube full of sparkles. Or, well, I guess carbon dioxide, since the technical term, I believe, is carbonated water and not sparkling water, but yeah, you get the point. So the water gets into this cooling pump where you can actually control the specific degree of the water from 1 to 12 degrees Celsius, which means that you get the perfect temperature of water every single time right away as soon as you want your next glass. And this is the magical part, it's directly connected to this big tube of sparkles, I mean carbon dioxide, so you can get up to 490 liters of sparkling water before you need to change the tube. And honestly, I can just sit here for hours talking about how incredible it is to have your own sparkling water machine built into the tap right next to your sink, and also just how much better it is for the environment compared to like going to 7-Eleven and buying your daily, in my case, sparkling water from these plastic bottles. But there are no words in the world who can describe just how incredibly cool it is to just open up the tap and get cold sparkling water straight from the tap all the time. I can go up in the middle of the night, just flick the tap and get one tiny glass of sparkling water before going back to sleep again, without having to go through the normal process of first filling up a bottle of normal water, putting it into a machine, pressing a button for a few seconds, taking the bottle and pouring it into a glass, putting the rest of the bottle back into the fridge, taking some ice cubes, putting it into my glass in order to have an actually refreshing glass of cold sparkling water. Now I can get a glass of sparkling water in literally seconds, just as long as it would take for me to pour up a glass of non-sparkling, boring, old-fashioned normal water. But if this under the sink setup looks a little bit intimidating, just know that Celinda will of course come home to your apartment and install this for you, so you do not need to lift a finger at all. Except of course when you actually had enough sparkling water and want the machine to stop. And it is actually the exact same process when eventually you will run out to the 490 liters of sparkles. If you do have these smaller containers, then once you do run out after like 60 liters only, you are the one who has to bring this to the department store and then actually get it replaced there and then bring it back home again. Celinda will actually come home with the new tank for you, they will do the replacements, and then you're ready to go in no time. Now, there are a few things I want to make very clear, especially considering the topic of today's video. This is a sparkling water machine, so it will actually add sparkles or carbon dioxide to your water, and it also has a fridge cooling function, so it will actually cool down the water to your desired degree, but it will not filter the water for you. And Celinda is recommending that you are using a separate filter system, which of course you can connect straight into this under the sink machine, just like we already had here in our apartment. Secondly, if you for some reason would not want to drink sparkling water all the time, I don't really understand why you wouldn't, the SD300 sparkling water machine does come with a pass-through function as well. So you can get the sparkling water from the left side, but if you do want the original filtered water without any sparkles to, for example, fill up your coffee machine, you can get that here on the right side as well. And last but not least, if you want a little bit less Scandinavian minimalistic approach and a little bit more show-off majestic piece in your kitchen, they also have other on-the-counter design machines as well, which will give you the same functions as the SD300 that we have in our kitchen, but with this on-the-counter solution instead. So please do yourself a favor, go check out Celinda's website for a little bit more information, because I can hand on heart 100% say that this is the best home solution product just way of life I have ever experienced. I couldn't even dream about this thing, but this is just a completely different level, and there is no going back to drinking any other kind of sparkling water. It is absolutely amazing. I should also mention, which I actually forgot, you can actually also adjust the amount of sparkles in the tube as well. So if you have been worried about that you cannot actually customize the amount of sparkles, you can. You can. Yeah, that was it. Sponsor segment over, but I still have not received the report from the Taipei Water Department. I'm not really sure what to do now. I think I have to actually stop recording right now. Then I'll get back to you when I have a reply from the report and see if we can actually drink the water that I just drank in the beginning of this video. And now, a few days later, we're once again back here at Taipei Water Department, since we now finally got our water results back. Let's go back home to the studio and check it out. Okay, so now we're back from Taipei Water Department, and in my hand I have, at least I hope I have, my water report, which will tell me that the tap water here in the apartment is safe to drink. Let's see, notification of water quality test results. The water samples sent were tested for turbidity, no idea what that is, residual chlorine, pH, and total dissolved solids, and the results were found to compliance to Taiwan's drinking water quality standards. The key to safe drinking water quality lies in regular cleaning and maintenance of water equipment, such as water basins and rooftop water towers. We recommend to clean and maintain water basins and water towers at least once a year. Well, we all know I'm not going to be the one cleaning our rooftop water tower, but I do hope that my landlord has everything under control. Should you have any questions, please contact us through our service hotline, and you'll have the number down there. Whew, okay. It looks like our drinking tap water is up to Taiwan's drinking water quality standards. Yeah, they actually said before that the report that you will get is basically like yes or no. Can you drink it or can you not? And if it's considered that you can drink it, then this free test does not include any more information, such as, for example, whatever turbidity means. No idea. But yeah, so it turns out that my whole life here in Taiwan has been a lie, because apparently, at least in this apartment, I have been able to actually drink the tap water this whole time. But then again, I barely drink normal water anymore, since I do try to have a sparkling water diet thanks to Celinda. And once again, they do recommend that we do have this filter tap system, which we already have in the apartment. So if I am going to be completely honest, I will continue using that filter tap water into my sparkling water machine and continue my sparkling water diet. But hopefully this helps some of you Taiwanese people, but also foreigners coming here wanting to actually know if you can drink the tap water here, at least in Taipei, or not. And I'm sure that every other county, every other city will have your own water departments where you can just contact, and they were super friendly. They told me that they were a little surprised, I think, seeing a foreigner walking in there. So I don't think this is a service that a lot of foreigners in Taiwan knows about. And they said that most of the time, if there's been like a big accident or something in the neighborhood or in a specific building, then there would be like, you know, a lot of people coming at the same time. So they have based on these like situations, and I'm pretty sure that was the first time they saw a foreigner walking in, just randomly asking, because the first question they said was like, 发生什么事? I'm like, YouTube video? But yeah, no, they were super cool about it, and it's free. It's been a few days since I drank that first glass of tap water. Yeah, all good. Cannot complain at all. And hopefully you also do not complain about this video. And in fact, if you do like this video, please do click that like button to show your support. Please also help me share this video with someone who maybe want a little bit more information regarding the tap water quality, at least here in Taipei, or where you can find out more information if you want to test your own tap water here in Taiwan. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is Lukas. Starts with L as in like, ends with S as in subscribe. Please do both, and see you all in the next one.